Welcome to The Context. This week we are going to look at what is the context for Libra, the digital payment system announced by Facebook that is going to launch in 2020. But of course, this is the first episode of this new weekly video series, so it is important that I explain to you a little bit why it has been born and what is the context for the context. I have always refrained from commenting on current news. On one hand, I didn't believe that I would have necessarily something to say on what was coming up in the media on a daily basis or even a monthly basis. And on the other hand, I felt and still feel that the value of such commentary diminishes very rapidly with time. What is the half-life of talking about what a given celebrity did or what a given politician declare after a month or a year or 10 years? I always felt that it would be important to talk about the meaning of what was happening in a broader field, so a broader context. The title of this video series came up based on a conversation recently with my friend Massimo Curatella. And I really want to use the opportunity to deepen our shared understanding of the implications of what is going on in the world. The context is going to be posted on a weekly basis on Patreon. And it is a rhythm that I haven't kept in the past. It is really an interesting challenge for me, as well as for my Network Society media team, Emil Olaru, Graciela, and all the others that are helping me putting videos together. As I travel, I will try to record the videos either during the week or at maximum on Friday so that they can be edited on Saturday and posted on Sunday. And I will also, of course, welcome your questions, your feedback, your input, both on what should the context address and analyze, as well as what possibly I should go back and give a further context for. So let's talk about Libra. Facebook obviously is the winning social network on the planet with over 2 billion accounts. There are certainly no precise information available on what is the number of people that are using Facebook and what is the definition of using Facebook even. Whether somebody taking a glimpse on their news feed once a month counts as a user or not, compared to others who are obsessively going back many times a day, or even more, those who post original content. But it's undeniable that compared to other social networks, Facebook has been able to come up ahead. So the announcement that Facebook is going to develop and launch a new digital payment system called Libra matters. Matters because what other company can say, hey, let's launch something and see what the initial number of users is going to be. Let's say that 1 in 100 of our users is going to try it, and right out of the bat they can leverage 20 million users. Nobody else is going to be able to do that, at least for the moment. So that is a privileged situation. But of course, what emerged in the days preceding the announcement and the details that are available today, and with more information available afterwards, is whether Libra is a blockchain-based cryptocurrency, and whether, if it is going to be competing with Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies, whether it will be hindering or furthering their broader acceptance. Now, we will see in also other episodes of the context of how important the transformation of the world economy towards a deeply natively digital system is. Whether it is resource extraction, production, distribution, use, recycling, whether it is about services that are designed, implemented and delivered. These are all in some parts already and very decisively and natively going to be done digitally in the modern world. And the role of money in this context, of course, is going to be digital as well. Whether we are talking about the store of value, a unit of account, or a medium of exchange. And Libra occupies this last position. It is a digital solution for representing a modern medium of exchange. It has been compared with Bitcoin, but they are actually at the polar opposites of how one could go about realizing a modern digital payment system. Bitcoin is decentralized, it is permissionless, it is borderless. The creator of Bitcoin is pseudonymous, as well as the users and the holders of Bitcoin are pseudonymous. And Libra is literally the opposite of each of these features. Libra is centralized, even though Facebook established a foundation for its management. The Libra network itself is centered on a few gatekeepers. Libra is censorable. The transactions that are going to happen on Libra are not purely peer-to-peer, and they are not totally disintermediated. The gatekeepers, the nodes of the transaction network, are going to be able to deny certain transactions from happening. And Libra is geographically bound. Necessarily, the governance of the foundation, the operations of the Libra wallet, and many other components are going to very, very strictly comply with the laws and regulations of each geography where it operates. And while Bitcoin is global, Libra is not going to be able to be global. Certainly, it is not going to operate in Venezuela, in Iran, in North Korea, in Cuba, and possibly it is not going to operate in China, which is quite important with 1.5 billion people and the main competitors of Facebook having been born and having achieved huge success in China. As a matter of fact, one could argue that the WeChat integrated payment system accepted by hundreds of millions of Chinese consumers and merchants is what Facebook is desperately trying to catch up to. So, if Bitcoin and Libra are so different, to the point where many people don't even believe it is technically correct to call Libra a cryptocurrency and its network a blockchain, even though these terms are so popular that Facebook and Libra are going to want those terms to be applied to them. The question is it going to hinder or further the adoption of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies? Or is Libra even going to be successful? And if it is going to be successful, is this going to help in the digital transformation of our economy? I think that what is undeniable by even the fiercest critics of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is that thanks to this announcement, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies now must be taken into serious consideration by anybody in the financial world, in the entrepreneurial world. There were too many people who, even after 10 years and billions and tens and hundreds of billions of dollars of value having been garnered by the blockchain world, were still pretending that it didn't matter. So just through the announcement of Libra, this has been, I would say, an extremely positive consequence that is going to reverberate. Some of the recent shifts in the Bitcoin exchange rate with respect to the US dollar, where Bitcoin appreciated quite a lot, could be attributed to the positive sentiment generated by this perception. The other undeniable information directly attributable to this announcement is that Bitcoin, the blockchain world, and cryptocurrencies left immense opportunities that can be leveraged both by traditional corporations like Facebook as well as by new startups. In terms of diffusion, in terms of ease of use, in terms of generating a geographical penetration or signing up millions, hundreds, and hopefully billions of users. That is the aim of Libra, and I am sure that the Libra wallet will be excellent in terms of, for example, ease of use. And one of the components of the Libra announcement, the development and the deployment of ATMs that will allow the purchase of the Libra coin with fiat money all over the world where legal, is also going to help a lot of people to come on board. So, is this an unfettered positive news? Well, for many years, since a few years more, we have been aware of how deeply flawed Facebook's model and culture are in terms of privacy. So it is deeply worrying that a centralized, censorable system is being developed, and it is very likely to be successful, where the financial transactions of users are going to be scrutinized, collected, and exposed to the practices that our social media platforms have accustomed us to suffer. So that is an area where we have to be extremely careful. Another underappreciated component of the Libra announcement is that necessarily, due to the regulations that Libra will comply with in terms of onboarding people, their identities will be extremely precisely ascertained. And this attribution of a digital identity is also going to be a very important component of what Libra is going to become. I will be happy to go back in a few months, but certainly next year, to see what other developments we have seen around Libra in the meantime. And of course, after it is launched, I will be experimenting with it and have possibly a new episode of The Context give further context. The next episode of The Context next week is going to talk about why Tesla is very likely going to stop selling cars. And also, what is the context of the Gigafactory, which is in many ways Tesla's most important product. So if you want to hear about the context about Tesla, come back next Sunday to watch the new episode of The Context. And in the meantime, please send me questions, give me your thoughts about the current episode and how you would like this video series to shape up in the future. Thank you very much.